ITRBoxing. You heard it here first. Pretty cool videos. And I heard they're also in HD. ITRBoxing.com. I'm here with top rank Jahi Tucker, a fighter that stood out to me from your debut performance. And I wanted to get you on the show just to have you answer some questions and get you exposure because you had a dynamic performance. And I think young boxers should get exposure for the type of debut you had. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
What was it like turning pro at 17? I know Mazi, Kashir Goldston was there.
Yeah,
You had someone from where you're from there. Was that a
yeah.
special moment for you two in the bubble and your camps?
Big special moment. Big special moment. You know, me and Mozzie real good friends. Um, being able to turn pro, one of my close friends at a young age. It was a big deal and a big accomplishment. Getting signed at 17 was just, I was big. Don't get me wrong, but I just took it as it is. I'm still a competitor. I still got to go out there and just beat everybody up.
Because I watched a video and I saw you two in the back, and it was like it was game time, and like I just saw that look on your guys' face where it was like you were like, we're here to shine, but it was something that you can't replicate. You both were in the zone.
Yeah, definitely, because we're young, so we gotta make a name for ourselves, especially in this game.
Well, it's a dirty game, but you got a great manager, you got a great promoter, you're ahead of the game in so many ways.
Oh yeah, big shout out to Top Rank, big shout out to Jay Prince, Mike Prince, Rap A Lot Records.
So now I want to get to know a little bit about you. I'm going to talk about your past performance, but I want to know about your team because I know enough about boxing and seeing these young fighters. It ain't just all about you; it's about the team that's around you. So tell me about these people who are around you who have coached you.
Well, my coaches, I have my main coaches, my father. My dad, he's my go-to. He keeps me afloat, not just in the ring, but also outside the ring. Make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Um, I got Coach Rob Marine. Another head coach. You know, good trainer, great technical trainer, great conditioning. Again, another like a second father figure. Keeps me in line. Coach Joe. Coach Joe. He's responsible for a lot of the offense you guys see. And that's the team in terms of coaches. Other parts of my members of my team, you already know Jacko Fitness. Jacko Fitness, he big part of the team. Without him, we probably wouldn't I got signed. But as this early, I should say. But big part of the team. Other intricate parts of my team, my little brother and K Sean Boyd, one of my partners.
Okay. And I got to ask you on your IG because my stalker game is crazy. I got the craziest stalker game. Who is Coach Kenny? Because I feel like that's something that's part of your story.
Coach Kenny, man, Kenny Woods, he's the one who got me into boxing. Without Kenny Woods, I wouldn't be boxing. He's the one who made me actually want to box. So shout out Coach Kenny.
And what's that story behind it? Were you doing other sports? Were you struggling in school? How did you meet Coach Kenny and what was the story?
So we moved to Star City and Star City Boxing Gym right down the block from us. So one day my dad, we just walk in there. One day we meet Coach Kenny and he's just like, yo, we start training. Then he lets me spar. I spar. I'm like 7. I sparred this kid who's 10, and I do real well. He's like, "Yo, you could be a world champion one day, kid. Yo, you want to box?" And I just said, "Sure." After that, couple years went by. He trained me for a couple years, came me through my first couple fights. He let me know the importance of being a student of boxing and understanding the game, you know. And then, unfortunately, he passed from cancer about 2014, back when I was like 11. A lot of the times it's him. He's motivation.
So much like Meek Mill's song Heavy Heart, you do boxing with a heavy heart.
A lot.
Okay.
More not for a heavy heart because when he caught cancer, he always said, one day everybody's gotta die. He said, one day I'm gonna die. I might die soon. I got cancer. He always told me, yo, no matter what, just make sure you do it. So he prepared me beforehand.
Okay. And then I
But
just watched your ESPN fight. I watched it again because I knew I was talking to you and I'm up where I'm up in the parts unknown. on the road. As you can see, I'm in a bathroom right now.
Okay.
Parts unknown. We're getting it on the road. So to me, what's unique about you is a lot of fighters have defense, but you're a defensive fighter. In my opinion, you're good at missing punches, but you are offense, offense, offense. You are more than willing to throw. On your Instagram, it says hashtag pressure, 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 which means that you like to punch.
Yeah.
Explain to me your mindset when it goes in, because for lack of word, you look like you want to give someone a beat down.
Oh yeah, that's the name of the game. It's the hurt game, you know. That's that they looking to give me a beat down. But it's not more so just looking at to go and beat people down. It's also it really depends on your opponent as well, because I'm also able to like shift my game plans, you know. But believe it or not, man, the main key to my game, bro, is to inflict as much punishment and take as less punishment as possible.
And your pro debut was kind of like, I don't want to say a strange one, because Brad Goodman, Bruce Trampler, and I'm sure your team did an amazing job getting the opponent, but you had a grown man, an MMA guy.
Yep.
You're a young guy. You know,
Yeah.
that's not an easy fight, because you're in there with an adult who's going to try to be physically tough and trying to
Yeah.
maybe take you to dark places.
Yeah, but it's the thing. The way my camp runs, my dad, Coach Rob, Coach Joe, the way how we train, we go to dark place every day, you know. So it was nothing. We prepared for this.
And that's what impressed me, was that you had that kind of impressive performance against some guy who had muscles on his body, against a guy who clearly came to win, and you took the fight out of him. And now let's get into your next fight, because I want to talk about you, because you fought a good fighter in your first fight. Now you're fighting Charles Garner. I
Yeah,
believe he's from New York in
yeah, he's
some.
from upstate. Yep.
I don't know geography in New York. I've only been in New York 2 times. From California to New York, it's a very expensive flight, so I don't really know that. I don't want to say the geography. Do you know much about him in the gyms?
It's not really, for the simple fact that the part of New York he's is separate. Like I'm from New York City, Long Island. You know, all the way on the bottom side. You know,
Oh,
like.
so you're by the city.
But I'm by the city, bright lights and stuff. He's more up north, closer to Canada. So, you
So
know,
by Niagara Falls.
right up there.
Okay, so that was a pretty stupid question on my part, but that's just simply, that's a California question. You know, I just don't know the state. So like I'll say that, but that's a California question. So when you look at this guy, he's 1-0,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks like a tough guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks like a guy that's not coming in like, okay, if I get hit, I'm gonna go down.
Yeah.
Obviously, your team prepares you. You go to these dark places all the time, but at the
Yeah.
same time, what impresses me about you is you're stepping in there with these guys to find out where you're at very early in your career. And a lot of young fighters don't want to know that.
Yeah, because like I said before, when they put me on ESPN, like I feel like I'm already one of the best fighters in the world. I just gotta you know, get myself right in the pro game, but skill wise, I don't feel like anybody bothers me, you know. So I'm glad I'm getting these challenges early. So this way, I feel like I could step into the limelight earlier and start fighting some bigger names early too, you know.
I don't want to compare you to any fighter, but you reminded me of a fighter with the way you look, let some punches go. Who were the fighters you looked at? And I don't want to say modeled your career after, but they were the guys that you said, that guy's sweet.
It's a couple. I'm gonna give you my five. The
Okay,
five guys modeled my game after. I got Floyd Mayweather,
that's number one.
Roy Jones Jr.,
That's number two.
Lomachenko, Pernell Whitaker,
Four,
Ray Leonard.
five. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm really glad none of those guys are in this room with me, and they're mad at me, because that would be like, maybe I could put one of them in a bear hug, but I mean, those are some real tough.
Yeah.
You have elements of Sugar Ray Leonard, and I don't want to put that on a young person, but
Yeah.
you really like to punch when you think someone's hurt.
Yeah. Also, I feel like on my last performance, like I didn't get to show my IQ, especially towards the end, because I had a little bit of time left and I had my opponent hurt, you know. So I kind of started rushing a lot. So it's not more so I really like throwing a lot of punches. It's just more like I had to let them go, you know.
And I'm gonna get your back and just straight up defend you as an interviewer and a defender of you, is that you're young. You
Yeah.
haven't been around that long. And it's like you're in this big situation with big famous rich people and a big stage. And every now and then maybe you're just gonna do some juice. I'm looking to stop it. You know, I'm not expecting as a person to see a 17-year-old man to be a finished 30-year-old Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
That's just me. So, but I mean, I see the talent there with you. Like and I'm not just blown. I mean, I see when you're doing stuff that I see something that could be really special. So that's one thing. How do you see Teofimo versus Loma going? I think I know how you see it, but tell me.
Yeah. I see Loma just beating him up, you know. Teofimo's a great fighter, don't get me wrong. Great fighter, great power, great speed, good IQ or whatnot. But Lomachenko is just a different level of boxer, if you ask me. That's not a Dr. Teofimo. That's just I just feel like Lomachenko is just untouchable at this point in his game right now. Nobody's touching him, you know.
And we are, or at least I am on my platforms, we're defenders of people having opinions and not people not getting mad at it. So like you're not calling him a bad name. You're just saying, you're looking at a skill set for a skill set, and you're saying that's a 2-time gold medal winner. That's a dude that won a world title in 3 fights. That's a bad dude. That's the dude that goes to the schoolyard and says, I want to fight anybody, and people are apprehensive to fight him.
It's like 3 fights.
Yeah. So, any other things that I should know about you? Who are you sparring in the gym? Just anything else I'm missing?
You know, I got my split. I don't really have a specific one sparring partner. I spar a lot of different guys, you know. I've gotten great work. This training camp has been a great one. My team, we put together a great training camp. Big shout out to my team, because you know, without them I wouldn't be ready, you know. We just honestly, I just want to go out there and make a statement come next Saturday, and that's it, you know.
I gotta ask you this because I'm in California. A lot of pro boxers were getting ready in quote unquote gyms that might not be legal per se. And there were a lot of people telling on boxers for sparring and stuff like that. It sounds funny, but people were telling.
Nah,
So I saw the health department come to a gym and they like interviewed me like I was a criminal, and I'm just at a gym. You know, they're acting like I'm doing something treacherous. Being in New York, has there been issues around that during your training, because it's been a place where the coronavirus hit so hard?
Me personally, no. But you know, of course, other people had their own issues and stuff. But me personally, no.
Okay, well that's tremendous to hear, because that means you have a jump over 90% of the fighters I feel like in the world right now.
Less, no cap.
Okay, well, go for it. You were about to say something really awesome, and I just rudely talked over you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just the connection.
Yeah, it's just the connection. Just give us a good story you have with boxing from growing up.
Good story I have with boxing growing up. Me including myself, or just something that motivated me?
This like, I'm gonna take you back to your middle school days, 7th grade. You're in English class, and they're gonna give you a writing prompt, maybe an icebreaker, and you run with it however you want.
All right, so this is around. I was probably around 4. I was around 14. This is my freshman year. Okay. Around that time I was in boxing. You know, there was not really a lot of boxing gyms around me. At least I didn't find any. So I wasn't really boxing. I was just, you know, I was just a normal kid. And then so now this is really a turning point of where my boxing career really elevated. So like, I was just there, and then one day I'm just there, just watching boxing. I'm just there. I'm just watching Floyd, because like without Floyd, I wouldn't box. My favorite fighter, right? I'm just there watching Floyd. I'm just like, yo, man, I could do all that too. Like I thought about it. I was like, yo, I done put in a lot of years in the gym, just years, days, sweat, blood, tears, everything. I can't stop boxing now. You feel me? So after that, at that point, that's when I really started practicing like a lot, like by myself, you know? And that was really a big motivator too of where I am now.
Well, I think that a lot of people, both old and young, will find inspiration in that, because I think that's a common story for a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
So seeing those videos and then seeing what he was capable of doing and knowing it came from hard work is what kept you grinding.
Yeah. And also knowing that I was capable of doing it, you know, knowing, because I sat there and since I was 7, you know, I was boxing every day. Like I think from the ages like 7 to age 11, I did not take a day off at the gym. Like I used to go to the gym like every day, like no days off. Right after the fight, go right to the gym, like so serious. And yeah. So when I seen Floyd, I was just like, yo, man, I could do the same thing. Like it's inspirational.
That's pretty darn cool that you hear that. Now, before I get you out of here, I got to ask you two last boring questions.
Yeah. Okay.
When you look at your opponent
Mhm.
and like, just how do you assess him?
He's a good boxer, you know. He has his own style, but I'm gonna crush him. You know, it's the same goes for everybody. All these guys, they're in there for a reason. They're good fighters. You know, they do what they do well, but regardless of what, I'm gonna crush him.
So basically, and I'm going to paraphrase, don't
Yeah.
discredit this guy if you have a good victory. Don't discredit this win because he's a good fighter.
Yeah.
If you have a good performance, it's basically you having a good performance. It's not to discredit
He's
the
not
skill level.
skill level because if you watch his other fights, you can see he has good boxing capabilities. You know, but yeah, come Saturday. I'm sorry, come Saturday, October 17th. I'm just gonna do what I do, and
How
walk
does it
over.
feel to be on this, like, for lack of a better word, and I don't mean to cuss, but badass card with Teofimo and Loma and all this stuff? And
Oh, it's a beautiful feeling, great feeling. I feel like a star. And I just gotta go prove it too. That's about it. That's the only thing left to go prove it.
what are the odds you take a selfie with Loma this week?
I mean, I don't know. Give it like a 30% chance because really I'm probably gonna be in my room for most of the time anyway. So I give it like a 30% chance.
Yeah, you have to be quarantined, but I think it's pretty cool that that's one of your favorite fighters.
Yeah, if I see him, I'm definitely gonna go get the flick with him. But you know,
But I mean, how many fighters your age, like
Mhm.
literally your age, get to fight on possibly their favorite fighter, one of their top 5 fighters,
Yeah,
career-defining fight in many ways?
man, not a lot, man. Truly, it's honestly a blessing. So serious. It's a blessing. Testament to all the hard work I put in. So I could shine with the bright stars. So that's why it's not really much to me, but it's definitely a blessing, nothing to be looked over.
And then before we get you out of here, boxing's a lot about father-son relationships. I
Yeah,
want to end this interview with you talking about your relationship with your father because I think for me, I'm a sucker for these stories because I didn't grow up with a traditional father. So I
right.
love hearing a story of a father being so involved in their son's lives. So I'd like to hear your story.
Yeah, my father is pretty much just my mentor. My mentor, my coach, my financial advisor. Yeah, I need any advice, anything, I go to my father. He without my father, none of this would be possible either. Much like Coach Kenny, So he keeps me afloat, keeps me on the straight path. Let me know what I'm doing right. He lets me know I'm doing wrong. And, it's not more of a. It's not really a he doesn't let it be a do what I say type thing. It's more of a yo, I say this, what do you think? Okay, I think this, but you can add this. Okay. We always try to see eye to eye. Sometimes it doesn't work out like that, but we try to see eye to eye all the time.
No, I get what you're saying. Life happens. Like me and my mom are really close, but sometimes we
Yeah,
annoy the hell out of each other.
yeah, definitely.
So, where can people that listen to this interview follow you on social media and like where's your OnlyFans page and all that stuff?
Um, Follow me on Instagram at whois_Jahi Tucker, JAHITUCKER. Um, yeah, on OnlyFans, honestly, I haven't signed up, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, if this keeps going, I might have to become a rapper or get an OnlyFans page because
No,
this COVID virus has been shutting down the economy. But you're a tremendous person. I look forward to seeing you fight on Saturday.
thank
I look forward to seeing your whole career. You got support on the West Coast. I want to give you a platform out here, and
thank.
I just appreciate you coming on, man.
Nah, man, I appreciate you for giving me let me come up here. It's always an honor.